All right, this is part 2 of the CISS Kit installation. We're installing this on an XP-420, a brand new one. You can do it on a 320 or a 424 or even a Workforce 2630, I believe. All right, let's. We have our kit from the last video. It's full of ink there, and let's start. We'll open it up the 420. And let's remove this tape first. All right. And let's turn it on. We'll ask you what language you want. So in case you're not using a brand new machine, you're just going to want to go into the menu and tell it that you're replacing the cartridges. And it'll move over to the area where you can replace them. And there it is, install ink cartridges that came with the product. So some people say you need to put in the cartridges that came with the printer first. That's actually not the case. You don't have to. We're going to go ahead and initialize with the CISS kit. So this is the part where a lot of people have some issues. It's getting this cartridge to fit in right. So just push it in. All right. And now you're going to want to make sure each tab clicks in. To do that, I start with the second cartridge from the right. I put my left hand index finger, I push down hard, and at the same time with my right hand, I push the tab down at an angle. You might have to stand up and give it a little bit more pressure. There it is. You heard that click. Once you get one in, the next three are a lot easier. You just barely push them in and they go in. All right. What I like to do at this point is secure this battery so it's not flopping around. I like to lift one of the tubes very gently and slide it underneath. Very gently, because you don't want to pull the tube out. If you do that, the CISS kit won't work any longer. And I just secure it like that. That way it's not moving around. So what I do at this time is I actually cut the power. I don't turn it off. I cut the power to the system by unplugging it. The reason I do that is because we need to install the arm, and we'll need to be able to move this around. We can't do that if it's on. To install the arm, there's some double-sided tape. Before you install it, I like to cut a little piece of the double-sided tape off because we'll need it for later. This goes back here, just like that. And this is going to go right here, about 1.25 inches away from the edge, just right there. So the edge is right here, we're about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches away. We remove the backing. Press it down firmly, make sure it's secure. And the way this goes is like this. We push this all the way to the right and slide this in right here. And we're going to want to make sure to slide it all the way in. And this is, you want a little bit, you want it snug, but you want to have a little bit of room. Now we're going to move the carriage all the way to the left. It could be a little tighter than that. There we go. All right. So it's good on both sides, left and right. This will go out here. And you want to untangle all of this. This should not be quite like this. Sorry, I'm untangling it off camera. All right. Now that small piece of double-sided tape that we cut off, that's for this. Put a little square on it on the back. And that's going to hold the ink line down to the side. Lift it up. Slide the ink line inside. Just like that. Make sure you don't want to cut the ink line, do anything like that. That's perfect. Let's see if it closes. It does. Take the backing off. And there it is. Please make sure when you're setting up your system, the ink tanks and the printer need to be on the same level surface. You don't want one above the other, one below the other. It just won't work. All right. Everything looks good. We'll plug our system back in and it'll do a charge. We'll do an ink charge. Let's turn it back on. It'll go through the whole setup again. You'll notice some of the inks have retreated down the ink line. That's completely normal. It'll fill back up again right now once it does the ink charge. Now it's starting the initialization. It's telling me to install the cartridges. They're already installed. I'll go ahead and click start. Now it's going to say it doesn't recognize the following ink cartridges. Click OK to proceed. Alright, the initialization is over. I've loaded up a sheet of paper and we're going to run a nozzle check. What you want to make sure is that most of the lines show up, and we do have a little bit of the blue that didn't. One quick head cleaning should take care of that, and that should be it. And that's how you set up a CISS kit on an Epson XP-420.